You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Welcome back to Unstoppable Actors. If you are a regular listener, I always love having you here. And I love helping you learn and develop and improve your craft and become a better actor and really get on your way to becoming an unstoppable actor. And if you're new to the podcast, hello, so good to have you here. I hope this will be the first of many episodes that you will listen to. Before I get into the episode, I need to let you know that you might hear some strange noises in the background. I've got 2 cats and one of them has found something to play with. It's making me laugh and it's keeping her entertained, and I don't want to stop her because she's really enjoying herself, but I know she's just in it then. I know you're going to be able to hear it in the back of the podcast, so just bear with me. I don't want to ruin her playtime. She's having such a good time. Animals are so cute, aren't they? They definitely do things at times where we're like trying to work or get on with stuff. I know when I'm trying to do self-tapes, my cats definitely like getting involved. They like running in front of the camera. In fact, I would love to hear if you've got pets and you're at the stage where you're self-taping or doing online auditions. Do your pets get involved? Do you have to take about 1,000,001 times just because a tail keeps swishing into shot or because you hear a meow or a bark? Like, let me know. Drop me a DM at Standby Method Acting Studio on Instagram and I will read some of these out in the next episode just because they're fun. Anyway, that's not what today's episode is all about. Today's episode is actually about the number one thing that wrecks performances. I really wanted to share my insights with you and my expertise on this because I don't want you giving performances that have been really wrecked and destroyed by this thing, because what they do is they also destroy confidence in yourself. And I don't want that to happen to you. Unstoppable actors, yes, nothing runs smoothly and perfectly. You know, we're always hit with obstacles, but as an unstoppable actor, we can work around things. So this thing that wrecks performances then is the number one thing that stands in the way of sensational performances, of you delivering your best performances. And it is universal among actors. And it doesn't just happen to new actors, you know, those who are brand new, not got very much experience. It definitely attacks them much harder than the actors who are regularly auditioning. But here's a thing that you might not know. It also attacks A-list actors. A good number of years ago, in fact, a lot of years ago, when I was 30, I went to the Actors Studio in New York and I took some extra training there. And our coach, Andre, was telling a story of Ellen Burstyn. And if you've not heard of Ellen Burstyn, she's one of the 3 co-presidents of the Actors Studio. And she's also a multi-award-winning actress, including an Oscar-winning actress. And she also gets hit with this thing that wrecks performances. And I was quite surprised to hear this, actually, but it was quite humbling to hear this story. So he basically said that whenever she gets given a script for a new role that she's got to prepare and play, I mean, obviously, the scale of the productions that she is doing are huge. We're talking like Hollywood. She is a Hollywood actress. But she gets given the script, and the first thing she says is, I don't know what I'm going to do with this character. I don't know how to connect to the character. And I sat there and was like, oh, wow, I really relate to that because I also have those thoughts as well. It was very, very humbling, as I said, to hear that an actress of that level with that amount of experience and that many accolades under her belt is also having these thoughts. These thoughts are known as mental tension. Okay, so actors of all levels are experiencing this to different degrees, obviously. But let's go deeper into mental tension then. So what is it? Mental tension is any thought that hinders the performance. and it takes you out of your creative imagination and it stops you focusing on the character's object of attention on stage or on set, and it can stop you connecting to them as well. So an object of attention, for those of you that don't know, is the thing that is important to your character. It's their task in the scene. So when mental tension hits you in the middle of the scene, you can't focus on their task. And what you instead do is default back to your bad acting habits, because your bad acting habits are easier. So mental tension can hit you when you're first given the script, like in Ellen Burstyn's case. It can hit you in the middle of a scene. And you can also find yourself after scenes criticising yourself a lot. Mental tension was described by Lee Strasberg as the occupational disease of the actor. Stanislavski called it the greatest enemy of actors. And I absolutely agree with both of them. It is the occupational disease of the actor. It is the enemy of the actor. But I also know you can overcome it. And I'm going to tell you a little later on in the episode how you can do that. Before I do, I want to give you some examples of mental tension, and it can be any of these thoughts that I'm going to share with you in a moment. So I want you to listen to this list and recognize the thoughts that you have. Now, it can be one of these thoughts or it can be multiple. So here is a list. And by the way, this is not an exhaustive list. There's way more on this list than this. But, for the purposes of this episode, I'm just going to give you the main ones. Let's get started on this list. How am I ever going to connect to this character? I don't know what I'm doing with this character. Am I good enough to play this character? I'm not pretty enough for this character. I'm not good looking enough for this character. I'm not going to do a good job. Me and the character have nothing in common. I hate what this character does. I can't play them. This is a fun character, but I can't connect. Me and the character are just so different. There's no chance I'm ever going to be able to play them. Right, so that's not an exhaustive list. That's just a small list. But do you recognise yourself having any of these thoughts? Because these thoughts are mental tension. The ones that we normally get sucked into are, what am I going to do? I'm not good enough. They're the more dominant, mentally tense thoughts. But obviously the other ones that I've shared, spring out of that. And then there are way more as well. So how do we overcome these thoughts? Because we absolutely do not want these thoughts overpowering the performance, because if they do, that distance between you and the character will just keep growing. And when that distance keeps growing, it means you literally don't connect to the character. It means you're just an actor fumbling through a scene, and you don't want to fumble through a scene. You want to give your best performances. Each and every time you have to get a scene up on its feet. So we overcome them with 2 exercises: the methods chair relaxation and sense memory. So what exactly do these 2 exercises do? Well, the methods chair relaxation allows you to identify when tension is taking over your body in a physical manner. But what you have to recognise is that when you have got physical tension in your body, e.g. your jaw is really tight, or you're screwing up your eyebrows and forehead, or you're finding it really difficult to smile because it feels like your face has turned into a big block of concrete, or you're shaking, or one of your legs is shaking, or you've gone stiff. What you have to know about that is that physical tension has been preceded by mental tension. So mental tension always shows up in the body physically. So that is why we do the methods chair relaxation, because it allows us to identify the physical tension in the body, and then using our mind, we can release that tension in the body because we deliberately explore our body for physical tension. And whilst we're doing that, it is giving us a focus point, which takes us away from the mental tension. Those thoughts of, I'm not going to do a good job. Me and the character have nothing in common, or this character's really fun, but I can't connect, or where do I even start? What am I going to do? This character's too hard. Whatever it is that you think. By doing the methods chair relaxation, you can't give airtime to those thoughts because you have to focus on the physical tension in your body. And it gets you present, it gets you in your body, and it gets you in control of your body and your mind. It's a very, very powerful exercise, and it's one that I recommend you start incorporating. Now, the actors that train with me have to do this every single day because we have to train them to override those mentally tense thoughts with this exercise. So this becomes the new norm, because if not, having those thoughts, I'm not doing a good job, me and the character have got nothing in common. That list that I've read out, they become the norm. And we don't want that. The other exercise that I mentioned, sense memory, is an exercise that gets you to use your senses to tap into either an object that the character has got or something in the environment. So, for example, let's say it's supposed to be raining in the scene, but obviously there's not rain. You've got to create the reality that there is rain in the scene. So using your sensory memory, you can recreate that now. Because you're focusing on that, it means that you can't focus on those thoughts, those mentally tense thoughts, because your mind can only focus on one thing at a time. And I would much rather myself as an actress and my acting students focus on our creative imagination and not those mentally tense thoughts. Because when we're in sense memory, we're creating the truth. And we're creating very good truth. Our acting becomes very, very, very authentic. Now, these are the 2 exercises that you need to be learning and you need to be practicing every single day, and you need to be getting feedback on your efforts with them as well. Because once you've mastered both sense memory and the method's chair relaxation, you will always be able to work around those thoughts that cause mental tension, which then go on to cause physical tension. And it was that list that I read out earlier. But what I want you to know about these thoughts is that it's not that we want to try and get rid of them, because if we try and do that, they're just going to get bigger, they're going to grow stronger. Those thoughts will probably always be there. They'll probably always try and interrupt your performances. But with sense memory and the method's chair relaxation, you'll know how to work around them and weaken them so they don't dominate the performance. So now I've read out that list, which one of those thoughts do you know that your brain likes to try and convince you of whenever you're tasked with creating a character? And which one of those do you want to get rid of first? Well, not get rid of it, but like which one do you want to weaken so you can fully immerse in the character? Do you know? These are the exercises, the method's chair relaxation and sense memory, that we go through in the Method Actors Circle. Now, if you don't know what the Method Actors Circle is, I highly recommend you becoming a member, especially if you are deadly serious about becoming a professional, working, versatile, talented actor. So the Method Actors Circle is a monthly membership. It's for unknown and aspiring actors who are ambitious and very dedicated to becoming the best actor they can be and getting paid to act regularly. And within this membership, you get monthly audition classes, you get monthly character development classes, as well as weekly Q&As on the craft of acting, and you get mindset help as well. Now, it's in the character development classes where we specifically work on the method's chair relaxation and sense memory. So I take you through them step by step. I guide you through these exercises, as well as others, obviously, as well. It's not just these 2. I give you feedback on your efforts, and I show you how to implement them into actual scenes and characters, so you are always fully in control of your performance, and you're always in your imagination and always in the character and not in those thoughts. So the Method Actors Circle is £22 per month. It is amazing. It is the best investment you could make in your acting career. It's a thing that is going to take you from where you are now to where you need to go. I've been coaching actors for 13 years and I've been helping them achieve all sorts of amazing things with their acting careers. They've won awards for their acting. In fact, the other night, randomly, I was out in Liverpool for my friend's hen do, and one of my old acting students was in the bar that I was in, and she came up to me and she said, "Louise, I need to tell you, you changed my life." And I was like, "Oh, wow, thank you. That's amazing." And so being in the Method Actors Circle can change your life as well. So I highly encourage you to come and check it out and come and join it. The link is underneath the episode. As always, I hope you are now feeling a little bit more knowledgeable about acting, confident with how you can overcome these mentally tense thoughts, which we all have, by the way. And I hope you're feeling fired up and ready to annihilate them, because you absolutely can. So I'll see you in the next episode. Take care. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.